Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm Sunny, and this video here, this is the weekly astrology update on who's going to win the 2024 US presidential elections between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. There we go. And we just did the Trump video, Donald Trump's video. That's on the channel if you want to check it out for him this week. And now we're going to do Kamala Harris's video. That's it. We're going to check out her transits. Now, just to let you know, we all live in the same universe, and so we're all under the same kind of astrological transits or astrological influence. They just affect everyone differently. You know, some people, certain parts of it might be a little bit more intense, some less intense, and that's the deal. If you want to learn more about that stuff, turn into one of the live streams on the channel. We do the horoscope live here Thursdays and Saturdays. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, next, what's going on? So here's what's going on this week. Saturn, and I'm going to show you guys in the chart in a sec, and I'll show you how it interacts with Harris's chart. So Saturn is still retrograde, and Saturn's going to be retrograde till after the U.S. elections. Saturn's retrograde doesn't turn direct until the middle of November. So that causes a lot of karma right now. Karma is majorly in play. Good karma and bad karma, for better and for worse. So, and you can see that very clearly. So the candidates, both candidates, and probably in your life, you have the opportunity for a lot of good things, and you have a lot of opportunity for negative things. And if you were there in the past, and blah 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 and blah blah blah, it's karma, man. It's karma. You should be doing everything in your power right now, between now and the middle of November, to keep applying yourselves, right? Keep using and applying the lessons of Saturn. Keep doing the hard work, right? Don't cut corners. Don't be a BSer. Don't be nonsense. Just keep going, and you should be successful. In addition to that energy, Mercury is retrograde now. So communication, there will be a lot of communication problems. And if you look at the Trumpster, I talked about this in the other video, but he has communication problems. He's some of the Mercury retrograde things that can happen when you, like, he has technical problems right now. The thing with Twitter was a technical problem. Communication was delayed, Mercury retrograde. That happened at the it's happened a couple of times now where he's having communication problems. When he announced the debates, that was under Mercury retrograde, and that didn't stick. And so you got to be careful. Now for Harris, it looks like Trump doesn't have an astrologer because he's doing all this weird kind of stuff. But it looks like Harris might actually have an astrologer on staff, because she made her decision before, like, she's doing things very astrologically. I'm going to show you her chart in a sec. But no, it appears she's doing things very astrologically, whereas the Trumpster, looks like he's doing against his astrology. Now there's a warning coming up, because there's stuff that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Like so she's not. Let me just show you the chart, man. Just really blah 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 today. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope everyone has an amazing day. So this is the big energy that's happening. Right, that's the massive stress that's happening in the sky right now, and it's peaking for everyone. And for Harris, this is her putting a lot of energy behind the scenes. So I wouldn't expect to see a lot of her publicly right now. I just wouldn't expect it. Like, again, this is a lot of energy. The Trumpster has that energy at the top of his chart, and that's the Trumpster's publicity. And Trumpster's transiting sun is back there in the 12th house, so he's not really on tour much right now. So that's what I think about Harris. I think with Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury retrograde back here, this little guy right here. I think with Mercury retrograde in her communication sector, no less, I think these announcements that she makes will have to be adjusted as well under Mercury retrograde. But I'm telling you, she hasn't made any announcements. So, like, she hasn't really made any real announcements. So, like, so that's the deal. Now, the Democratic Party they're going to make some announcements, as far as I know, under Mercury retrograde. So they're going to be a problem with those announcements, whatever they are, or the communication stuff. So that's what's going on with Kamala this week, right? Mercury's retrograde. Okay, it was here, now it's over here. Okay, right? Because the planets are in motion, right? The planets are in motion. So there you go. Okay, what's next? So in this situation, okay, so I expect her to stay a little bit behind the scenes right now, continue to be behind the scenes. But I do expect next, and there's a very big event that's happening to her this week. And it's just like there is a possibility for a big event for everybody. She's having a lot of help behind the scenes, but she's also under a massive amount of attack behind the scenes, and we don't see it because the 12th house, all of that is hidden, and it's in your absence, and you don't see it. And there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of dissolving, and there's a big thing happening. Like, there's a major ending happening in her chart. There's a possibility, like, this is a really negative thing that's happening in her chart. Okay, just letting you guys know, if I saw that and I was going to read that in someone's chart, I'd say your movement is going to be restricted. You're going to have problems with authority figures. People are going to attack you. There might be a hidden lawsuit, something really negative. But unlike the Trumpster, this, I mean, it is a bit of a problem. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. I'd like to say no, but it is a bit of a problem. That energy there is squaring this energy down there. So there is frustration. And she's going to be frustrated. She's going to have this week some kind of love situation or money situation or some kind of support situation. There's tension in her chart. And there might be, like, she's going to have to compromise somehow. But she's a Libra. She's going to compromise is what she does. So anyways, that's the deal. Something behind the scenes is going to happen to her. You know, guys, I've been calling for some negative stuff to happen to her. Initially, it's difficult to see. Like, when Saturn is direct, it was difficult to see Harris being successful. It looked like there was going to be some kind of major restriction in her life where she wouldn't be seen in public, right? Saturn at the top of the chart is like it takes away, and it takes away wherever it is in your chart. And for her, it's and it applies hard work, and it's where you're tormented, and where you have to put extra energy in to make sure it happens. And for her, it's publicly, or it also takes things away. So it would have taken her publicity away, and so. But then Saturn went retrograde, and Joe retired, sort of. he sort of, he gave up the race. He let the old guy retire, right? Let him go play with some grandkids and stuff. So as long as Saturn is retrograde, it looks like the negative stuff that you're seeing, like she has it in herself, and with the support that she has, to turn the stuff, as long as Saturn is retrograde and moving in this direction, she has this opportunity to really push the 10th house, which is publicity, right? Dealing with authority figures, publicity, the establishment, outside. And so it's going to continue like this. So the Trumpster Saturn's over here. The Trumpster is still going to have problems and karma with his associates, people he's associated with, in addition to legal situations. And Kamala Harris is going to have, this ability to be more and more public. Now, here we go. And she has a bit of a reprise from some of the negative stuff that's going to happen in her chart. And she has the opportunity to restructure this, which she is clearly doing because she's running for president. Now, in the middle of November, when Saturn turns direct, she's going to have to address all of this stuff. She's going to have to address her karma, like we all are. We all are in the middle of November moving forward. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Although I do predict her winning the presidency, she has in her chart, in the middle of November onwards, disappearing from the spotlight. Just to let you guys know, it's disappearing from the spotlight and in the middle of November. And usually when I see that, I would say they're not going to win the election. But the election's before that. So timing is important here. All right, getting back to timing. This week, we have this massive event at the beginning of the week. But rest assured that next, and I expect her to continue to operate behind the scenes. But next week, holy smokeolas, the world is going to change again, and she is going to come out swinging. When Mars enters the person's first house, there are a couple of things that happen. One, they suddenly become outwardly aggressive. You can put yourself first, you can be outwardly aggressive, you can be very vocal. And she has that, right? And it's going to hit her north node, right? It's going to be a big deal. She's going to become very aggressive. She's going to become very opinionated, quite outspoken. She's going to very much defend herself. Now, having said that, when Mars transits your first house, you attract violence. And I talk about this all the time during the horoscopes. And so she's going to have to watch out for violence. She's going to have to watch out for physical attacks. She's going to have to watch out for real people like attacking her. But at the same time, she's going to fight back. And so although right now she's quite a bit behind the scenes, doing stuff in reclusive, I guess, behind the scenes, or a lot of planning, and you're going to see that next week she's really going to come out swinging. And that's the action. That's the action. That's what's going on with Kamala. That's the big deal happening in her chart. Like, man, there's a lot happening in her chart. Like, this is a major deal. Like, and things are making all these aspects. Like, there's a lot happening with her right now. But it's not really, although that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Do I think she's going to win? Yeah, I do think she's going to win. I think this week is kind of business as usual for both parties. I think Trump's going to make some weird announcements again, and it's not going to stick. And I think Kamala's going to be quiet again for the rest of the week and just kind of move around behind the scenes. And I think next week the gloves come off for both parties, but Mercury's still going to be retrograde. So like this is going to, but next week the gloves come off. And that's the action, man. That's the action. I hope everyone has a super amazing day. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share the videos. Leave whatever comments you want. I don't really care. But I really wish you guys the best. It's still a little early. I'm going to say you should watch the Trump video because Trump is going through major Uranus stuff, both in transit and natally. So he has massive, unexpected stuff happening to him. And you can see it in the world. And Kamala has a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. So there's a lot that's going on, and stuff is still going to shift and change. As the calendar, right, our calendar, days of the week, and these deadlines that people have, politically and with TV and all that stuff or whatever, as those deadlines interact with the astrology. There are two different separate deadlines happening, and we get to astro timing. That's why we're here. And that's the action, guys. Wishing everyone the best of a super amazing day. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And that's the action from TheSunnySide.net. I'm Sunny, wishing everyone the best of a super amazing day. Please share the videos, and I'll see you guys soon.